Hello students, this is Neeta Biju. Welcome to another class of business studies. We have completed the first chapter, that is nature and significance of management. So today we'll be doing the second chapter. We'll be starting with the second chapter, that is principles of management. So in today's class we'll be doing the meaning, concept of principles of management. For that you need to know first the meaning of principles of management. Before that you should know what is the meaning of principle. So principle means a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as a foundation for a system of belief or behavior. So it's nothing but it's just like a guideline, it is just like a foundation, it is just like a direction, the fundamental truth that guides one's belief or behavior and leads them. A principle is a proposition or value that is a guide for behavior. For example, in law, it is a rule that has to be followed. So basically, principle means the value or the guidelines or the rules that has to be followed in a given situation. So what we got to study here is the meaning of principles of management. So we got to apply those principles in management. Then it becomes principles of management. So here a managerial principle is a broad and general guideline for decision making and behavior. So when it comes to managerial principles, it is the task of the managers. The principles of management which is evolved gives guidelines and directions and tells a manager to take the right decision in a given situation. So that is what is nothing but the managerial principle. It is a broad and general, comprehensive and general, applicable everywhere guideline, and it guides and directs any manager in an organization to take the right decision in a given situation and how to behave in any situation. That is what the principles of management will help the managers to do. So it is framed on the basis of standard human behavior patterns but applied according to the need and situation. So of course these principles of management has evolved according to the common behavior, analyzing and taking into consideration the common behavior of human beings in any or different situations. But these principles are flexible. It can be rectified, it can be altered, it can be changed according to the need and situation. So it's not rigid here. It is of course framed according to the behavioral pattern. Standard behavioral pattern means the common behavioral pattern of any human being, but it can be rectified according to the situation. That is what is principles of management. It helps the managers to perform managerial activities more effectively and efficiently. So here the principles of management is just like a guideline, it is just like a direction, it's just like a rule that has to be followed by every manager in an organization, and it will help and it will guide and direct all the managers to carry on their activities at a given period of time with the given resources. That is what is known as effectively and efficiently and achieve the organizational objectives. So this was the meaning of principles of management. Basically, principles means it is the fundamental truth or the foundation of one's belief or behavior. It is just like a rule or a guide that directs someone to do something in a given situation. So when it is applied in management, it becomes principles of management. Now we'll study the concept of principles of management. For that we need to distinguish the principles of management from that of pure science, principles of management from the techniques of management, principles of management from the values. So the first one, the principles of management versus principles of pure science. So management principles are flexible and updated to meet the changing demands of the environment, but the principles of pure science are rigid. So when we compare the two, management principles are very flexible. Flexible means we can adjust it, we can change it, we can alter it, we can do any sort of rectification, and we can update it to meet the changing demands of the environment. According to the environmental changes, we can make any changes or rectification or alteration in principles of management according to the given situation. But in principles of pure science, we cannot do or make any changes. How it is, it should be applied as it is in any situation or in a given situation. That is why it is called as rigid. Management principles deal with human behavior, thus they are to be applied creatively, but principles of pure science need not be applied creatively. So management principles are always dealing with human resource, and human resource behavior is totally unpredictable. Their behavior is different at different situation at different times. The result will be different. So that is why it should be applied according to the situation. Something creative manager has to think to deal with human beings, something innovative. But principles of pure science need not be applied creatively because it is fixed. There is no innovation there, nothing new to be done, nothing different to be done because it is pure science. Application of some principles may give different results in different situations, but the application of pure science will give the same result in any situation. So application of some principles of management is giving different results in different situation means because it is dealing with human resource, it is dealing with human beings. That's why it is giving different results in different situations, because human behavior is totally unpredictable. But for pure science, it will always give the same result in any situation. So pure science is applicable in any situation, it gives the same result, the output is going to be the same. But the application of principles of management, the application, even if we apply, the results is going to be different in different situations. So the next concept of principles of management is principles of management versus techniques of management. Here, management principles are the guidelines for decision making and behavior, whereas techniques of management are the procedures or the methods for decision making. So principles of management is something that guides you, that leads you, that directs you for making certain important decisions at the given period of time and to behave accordingly in any situation, whereas techniques of management is the procedure, the step or the method of decision making. So this is what is the difference between the two. Principle of management is the guideline for decision making, but the techniques are the methods or steps for decision making. The next concept of principles of management is principles of management versus values. So we have here values are acceptable or desirable behavior of individuals, whereas principles of management are guidelines for human behavior. So here values is something related to ethics, morality. It is something which is acceptable, which is desirable of an individual, how he got to behave, what is wrong, what is right, to know the difference, to recognize. And this is what is all value, what is called as values. But the principles of management are the guidelines for human behavior. It just gives the foundation, it gives the direction how a human should behave. That is what is principles of management. And even there, it doesn't come to the general society, it doesn't come to the general being, it comes only in management or in the organization. Values are related to individual behavior in the society, but the principles of management are the rules related to work situations. So all of you are aware that management principles are applied only in an organization, because the principles of management are practiced only by the managers of an organization. So they got to follow the rules related to the work situation according to the organizational objectives. But the values are very much general, it is very comprehensive, it is related to an individual behavior in the society. That is the difference between the two. The principles of management includes values for effective fulfillment of social and ethical responsibilities towards a society, but values may not include principles of management. So you can see here, principles of management will include social obligations such as serving the society, and that is, you have studied already in the objectives of management, the social objectives, that is providing jobs, paying taxes to the government, sponsoring with for all the societal development towards a society. Whatever you can contribute, you have to contribute as your social obligation. That is what is principles of management. Will include values, but values will never include principles of management. If you take any value in the society, it doesn't apply principles of management there. So values do not have principles of management, but of course principles of management will include values, in the sense it has to fulfill certain important social and ethical responsibilities towards a society. So this is all about the concept of principles of management. Today's class we have studied the meaning and concept of principles of management, and in the next class we'll be studying about the nature of principles of management. Thank you.